to be protected, do you think?
Anything that affects national security. Like, we have to be careful of what we wish for. Like, we don't know what we don't know. Even me, I don't know what I don't know. And if we're at the point where we have so little trust in our government that we're just gonna, there's a reason it's called catastrophic disclosure. Catastrophic is not good for those calling for heads any more than it's good for those whose heads are being called for. Like, we as a public do not want catastrophic disclosure. What we need, again, there's a few bad apples. We need to maintain our institutions. We don't get rid of them. We need to find a way to get the right people promoted to positions of power and trust, and we already have that. It's called the Gang of Eight in Congress. They're a big part of that. Right now, it's not functioning that way, but we're not going to change. We can't change the structure. We need to get the right people into power, into positions, start looking into it. And again, you don't need to rely on the government. It's already there. Like, what we need to know is this. We need to know that we're not alone. We need to know that there's a profound spiritual component to our existence. And that's just for the sake of our own fellowship as creatures sharing this planet. But also there's an extreme amount of utility in our ability that has been suppressed forever. So if we could learn how to use that, and also for those that are keeping the secrets, keeping it secret is a bad way to try and study something. We need an open source. We need all hands on deck, all brains on deck, all consciousness on deck in order to find out how we can exploit this in the best of ways in order to come up with things like zero-point energy, let's say. Until we do so, we're going to be stuck with the same problem we have been for all the civilization, and that's battling for limited resources. And if we could solve that problem by something that might come out of disclosure, that would be something I say should be disclosed. Things relative to national security, no. And we can't trust ourselves. We can't say, give us all of it because we don't trust you. We have to put trustworthy people in position and let them make that decision.
Okay, let me ask you this way then. Do you think the public have the right to know that we are not alone?
Yes, I'll say yes to that.
And the thing I find shocking, though, is that the most beautiful thing that you've described to me, the most exciting thing, is what I think our audience is going to have the biggest trouble with, is believing the idea that human beings have the capacity to do things with their minds that have been suppressed.
Yeah. I just kind of smile because that makes it more entertaining for me because they're going to be shocked. But you know what? I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think there's more people that believe it. They're just not talking about it. And I can tell you for a fact, even within our world of hardened operators at the highest level, guys that are still in, behind closed doors, we all know it's true, and we have the most emotional talks, like we're part of Oprah's book club. I mean, it's true. And right now we're in a moment where the truth is being obfuscated and twisted. But the truth, I'll tell you, is our weapon. And when we're willing to accept the truth, no matter how profound or earth-shaking, is when we move into a position of power. And it's going to liberate this subject. And you know what? How fun would it be if we're right? I'm not telling you, it'd be different if the government and what was being hid behind this subject matter was the fact that there was an asteroid on course for Earth, that there was no way we could redirect it, or there's no way we could defend against it, and we were all going to die in the year 2020X or whatever it is. That's not what's being hidden. What's being hidden here is something extremely positive, and it's something we've all hoped for. It's the one thing we've all looked for in all of our religions that we celebrate across the world. It's the one thing that we want to be true of our religion, and it's the one thing that the one common thread amongst all religions. And so that's what's being hidden, and that's what we're going to find out, and you can't bottle it up.
The implications of what you're saying also are that potentially